to Jesus as well. If Jesus, for example, is a baby, he needed his mother to eat food. He needed to be protected. How can that be the same person that is all powerful? Because just like you said, just like you said, why can't he? For example, God cannot cease to exist. Why can't he? The same principle that I'm using against with you, bro. Be consistent.
Where's the inconsistency?
Could Jesus protect himself when the king came around to actually try and kill the babies? He couldn't protect himself.
Yeah, so the point is, bro, the reason why it doesn't make logical sense, because like I said to you, the foundation element for every person to understand religion is the concept of God. For example, the Islamic concept of God, we believe in one God. We believe in Tawheed. We affirm his attributes. We believe God is most powerful all times. God is all-knowing all times. That's why when an individual came up to Jesus and someone was asked, when is the hour? What did he respond with? No one knows. No one's in the heaven and earth knows except the Father. It shows, for example, if I submit my will to someone else, for example...
Yeah, but that's because he put himself in the same position we are. That's
okay, so let's analyze this now, yeah? For example, a child and a father, yeah? The child is submitting his will to the Father because he's under the authority of the Father. Same thing when it comes to Jesus. We never see Jesus telling the Father to worship him. Do we see that? No, we do not see that. We always see God the Father commanding Jesus to worship him, to prostrate to him. And the crazy thing is, the exact way that Jesus worshipped the Father is the exact way that Muslims worship Allah. The way we worship Allah is how? We prostrate on the floor. And what was Jesus doing in the Bible? Prostrating to the floor, to the God.
Christians prostrate to the floor, they can do it.
Okay, that's what the point is, that because Jesus is prostrating to the floor and he's prostrating to the Almighty, yeah, so it shows that Jesus is inferior to God because he's submitting his will to the God. Does that make sense?
No, the assumptions I think don't really
Look, why does that not make sense? If Jesus is submitting his will to the... Go on, sorry, I'll let you speak. Sorry?
And remember earlier when I told you, Jesus himself never wanted to die. That's why he went to the garden to pray.
Yeah.
He did not want to.
Yeah, but we need to go...
Give
Yeah.
up his life
he
for
was
that.
willing to accept.
No, brother, the foundations though, like everyone has universal knowledge. The things that you're saying, it goes against your natural inclination. Because remember, the brother said, it doesn't make sense for God to cease to exist. Why does it not make sense? Because it's against his majesty. Similarly, when God becomes a human being, that goes against his majesty. Because, for example, do you believe that God is bigger than his creation?
I believe God's bigger than his creation.
Of course, yeah. Of course he's bigger than creation. He's almighty, he's all-powerful, he's the Most High. So how can something that is bigger than his creation go into a creation that is smaller than him?
You have to read Philippians 2, that will give you that answer.
What's the answer?
It's in Philippians
What's
2.
the answer? What's the answer?
Read Philippians 2.
No, read the verse. You came and give the
It
verse.
says he humbled himself
Okay.
and became obedient. He humbled himself,
Yep.
did like himself to man, he became obedient unto death, even death
So-
on the cross. Hold on.
Okay.
Then it says, then he was glorified,
Yep.
lifted up, and every knee shall bow and every tongue shall.
Okay, that's fine. So now we need to understand when we say one second, brother. I'll let you speak. I'll let you speak. One second. I'll let you speak, brother. Come on, one at a time. So when we one second. That's fine.
Just let me finish.
Brother, let me speak. I'll let you
finish.
speak. Okay, I'll let you finish. Let me know when you're done.
Yeah, and when you were saying about when Jesus is relying on his mother, the question I'm asking is who supplied the food for the mother?
Okay, let's analyze this now. No, brother, I'll let you speak now. I'll let you.
Question: who supplied the food for the mother?
Not Jesus.
Okay.
No, hold on. Careful.
Well,
now.
Jesus didn't supply his
I'm
food to
going
his
somewhere
mother.
with it. I'm going somewhere with this. Because God is all-knowing, so he knew he was going to be in the baby's room, so then he prepared everything before he came, that he was supplied.
Okay, I'll let you speak now, brother. Yeah. So look, now we need to understand the concept of God limiting himself. Yeah. Let's see if this logically. One second, brother. Yeah. Let's see if this logically makes sense. Yeah. So, for example, when Jesus was a baby, he was eating food, right? He was eating food. Yes, agreed. Was Jesus eating food? Yes. Okay, that's fine. Do we agree that God by nature is self-sufficient?
By nature.
Yes, exactly. So when Jesus was eating food, does that still make him the same God that is self-sufficient?
Okay.
No, answer the question, please.
I'm checking first if you understand what you're talking about.
Okay, that's fine.
Do you understand the spirit, soul, and body?
Brother, you're not answering the question, man. A lot of Christians
I'm
do this.
asking, do you
With all due respect, you're not answering the question. Okay, I'm going to continue the conversation with you, bro. That's fine. Let's continue the conversation.
Every time you get a question you don't like.
No, you.
Brother, I asked you a simple...
I'm just seeking.
Listen, come in.
I'm going to answer your
Okay,
question.
answer my question. When I said
I'm not
is...
running, trust
Okay,
me.
do you want me to say my question again?
I'm checking to see
Yep.
what level of understanding you're at by asking you a question.
Okay, one second. Look, let me speak now, brother. Let me speak now, brother.
You're saying food. What does food feed? Does the natural food feed your body, your soul, or your spirit?
Bro, answer the question yourself. It's a ridiculous question. He's asking me how, like, when you eat food, is it your food? Is it physical spirit? Listen, we don't need philosophy here. No, one second. Let me speak. One second. Bro, you have to let me speak as well. 1 second. I'm gonna repeat my question one more time. Yeah. I'm gonna repeat to you. Please let me speak. You're interrupting now. Brothers, don't let me speak. He's not letting me speak, brothers.
My objective is to see where your understanding is.
Let me speak then.
So you should be comfortable for me to see where your understanding is.
That's fine. I'm ready to do that. I'm ready. Let me speak, brother. Bro, he's not even letting me speak.
The question I'm asking is...
You're not being fair. Everyone is saying that you're not being fair. Let me respond.
But don't bring everybody in if you can't stand your...
If you're going to let me speak, are you going to let me respond? Wallahi, this is crazy, man.
Natural,
Because you don't let me speak.
natural, spiritual soul. Now, when you're saying natural food, which part of the body are you talking...
Okay, you finished now, yeah?
Which part of the being are you talking about?
Okay, you finished now, yeah? You finished now. Okay, cool. The question, 1 second, the question that I was asking the brothers, yeah? Sorry, not the... I was saying that God by nature is self-sufficient, right? So when we say self-sufficient, how do we define that? That means God is not in need of anything. It makes sense, right, guys, yeah? So when Jesus was a baby, right? Okay, when he was a little baby, what did he not require his mother for food and sustenance? Yes? Okay, absolutely. And one second. And automatically, one second. You agree with me, that's fine, yeah? So now can Jesus... One second. Now, 1 second, please. Now at that point, when Jesus was a baby, because of course, according to Christians, they believe in two natures, all right? And we can already affirm that the Father is not Jesus and Jesus is not Father. So we're talking about as Jesus, as God being a baby. He was not self-sufficient because he needed to eat food. And God by nature, one second. And God by nature was self-sufficient. So what does that come up to? A paradox. Someone cannot be self-sufficient and not self-sufficient at the same time. For example, someone cannot exist. 1 second. I'm gonna finish off. 1 second. Just like, brother. 1 second. I'm just gonna finish off, yeah? Brother, I'm gonna finish off. 1 second. Yeah, I know, brother. I don't know why it's easy to comprehend, isn't it, brothers?
Even a 10-year-old will agree with him.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's be respectful, bro. His uncle. Okay, brother, look. The thing is, just like it wouldn't make sense for God to exist and not exist at the same time. It wouldn't make logical sense. Same thing, for example, of God being self-sufficient, but not being self-sufficient at that.
You put your own
okay, go on.
parameters.
I'll let you speak. I'll let you speak, brother. God,
which is fine. That's his perspective.
You put your
can God cease to? He's not being consistent. Let's test that.
Everybody's entitled to their perspective.
Okay, let's test that.
That's how you see it.
Okay, 1 second. Yeah, I know that's true. Okay, look 1 second. Let's test you.
I'm trying to understand you.
That's fine.
Where you're coming
No problem.
I'm trying to see where his understanding is.
What you doesn't make to me what you're saying doesn't make sense because you're laying on your own set of parameters what God can do and what He can't do.
Okay, that's fine, brother. The reason, with all due respect, yeah, you're being inconsistent.
Why?
Let me tell you why. The same principle. 1 second. Look, 1 second. With all due respect, I said you're being inconsistent. The reason why is the same natural inclination, the same reason. Allah says in the Quran, أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ, will you not reason? The same principle that you use, that it wouldn't make sense for God to cease to exist, is this, 1 second, is the same parameters that we are. 1 second.
I'm saying,
Answer the question. Can God cease to exist?
Is that what you're saying?
Answer the question. Let him answer the question. He put me on the spot. Can God cease himself to exist?
on the spot.
Can God cease himself to exist? Okay, can you answer the question?
Yes, on the
If you're not going to answer the question, honestly, I'm going to speak to him. Can God cease? No, because you spoke for a long... Yeah, let's check your level of understanding. Let's check of your level of understanding. Yes, agreed. Can God... No. You're diverting.
I'll answer your question.
What was my question?
Listen, I'll answer.
Brother, he's not answering the question. Is it worth me speaking to him?
No,
He's not speaking to him. With all due respect, brother, I'm going to speak to you. He's not answering my question. Okay, cool. You know the parameters that you're saying about God, yeah? In regards to our understanding of God?
If you're taking, I'm sure there's somewhere that your psychology come into it is through a glass which is Muhammad's glass and how he's taught you to understand.
Of course, like even me...
That's why you come to conclusions. I can never come to conclusions.
Firstly, in Islam, we have something called fitrah. Fitrah is basically means your natural inclination. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that every single individual is born with fitrah. It's their parents that either make them a Christian, Jew, or fire worshipper. So this basically means that me and you both right now have natural inclination. We all have universal knowledge. Just like you would know that hitting a baby is naturally wrong, right?
Yeah.
Of course. Why? Because of your fitrah.
But your God can send them to hell, though.
What do you mean?
If He decides, somewhere in the Quran, you can send them
your
to hell.
God.
Okay, 1 second. Brother, 1 second. You made a big claim. 1 second. Brother, you made a big claim. 1 second. You made a 1 second. You made a big claim. 1 second. 1 second, brother. Listen, we have to speak from knowledge, bro. Did you just say that in the Quran it says babies can go hell?
Yeah, if He doesn't, I've looked at it somewhere. I've seen it somewhere that I mean, you can say it's not true, but that he decides who is and who is going to heaven.
Allah decides, yes. Allah is the ultimate judge. We believe Allah is the judge, okay? So He decides who's going to go Jannah and Jahannam. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has set criteria for His people to follow Him. For example, we believe Jesus, Moses, Noah, they all had revelation that they conveyed to the people. And the people at the time of Jesus, they would be the Muslims. Why? Because Muslim means submitting your will to God. Okay, you've heard all that before. But the thing is, what we need to understand, like I said to you, is the foundations. The foundation is the concept of God. And you're telling me.
Well, you admitted earlier. You admitted earlier a Christian man who rapes a Hindu girl. The Hindu girl goes to hell. The Christian man goes to heaven.
One at a time. Let's test this. Let's one second.
A Christian man who rapes a Hindu girl.
One at a time. Let's ask him the question, brother. Let's ask him.
Theoretically,
Okay, one second.
if a person knows Jesus for their heart and everything else and has repented and acknowledged Jesus as their Lord and Saviour, I'm afraid there's nothing can happen to him as far as that. He's been accepted.
So
Okay, one second, brother.
Now you're putting the parameters that now he kills someone who's a non-believer.
Brother, with all due respect, brother, he's going to die of that. Let's go to the foundation, brother, yeah? Look, so once again, let's test your parameters. Okay, that's fine.
That's what he said.
Brother, yeah, I'll ask him, Habib, I'll ask him. One second, brother, I'm going to ask you the question. Do you worship a baby?
Why worship a baby?
Because Jesus was a baby, so do you worship a baby?
No, I worship Jesus.
Okay, one second. Wasn't Jesus a baby as well?
Yes.
So weren't you worshipping Jesus as a baby?
I wasn't around him, so I don't understand. I'm just
He was a baby. Come on, listen.
He was a baby, yes.
Look, we agree that Jesus was a baby. So whilst Jesus was a baby, was he still God?
Yes.
Okay, so when you worship God, you're worshipping a baby, yes?
I suppose when people came to see Jesus X amount of years after he was born in the thing, they came before him, didn't they? They offered him.
So they were worshipping a baby then, yeah?
When Jesus was born.
No, they're worshipping Jesus.
But you agree that Jesus as a baby was God as well.
Yeah.
So wasn't the people that worshipping Jesus worshipping a baby?
At that time, when he was a baby.
Brother, listen, one second.
I don't know what you're trying to get at.
It's all due respect, you're not answering the question. You're saying one thing, you're saying the other thing. I ask you, look, me and you both agree. No, I don't agree, astaghfirullah. You agree that Jesus as a baby was God. You agree with this? But when I asked you the question, do you worship a baby? You said no. Jesus was a baby, so therefore he was worshipping a baby, yes? Brother, the reason why I'm saying this, listen, let me tell you why I'm saying this. Brother, listen.
If he was God, you should
Listen, the reason why I'm saying this. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay,
this is
my friend,
way over my head.
One second. No, remember I said to you, brother, it's really simple. It's really simple. For example, Hindus they worship 300 gods. Other individuals worship a man as a god. But we know God as His nature is most powerful, most knowing, and He's bigger than His creation. It wouldn't make any logical sense because Allah says to use our reason. So when we're using our reason, it wouldn't make any logical sense for a person, an entity that's bigger than us is inside us at the same time. Because Allah is the most high. He's the most knowledgeable and He's the greatest. So that's why the only thing I'm saying, I'm not trying to confuse you, honestly. I want you to understand, I want you to comprehend, and I want you to speak from your natural inclination. You know it does not make sense for a God to become a baby. Because in order for a God... Okay, so look...
Do you worship the baby then? If it's not true, do you worship the baby?
What do you mean? We worship Jesus.
When he was born,
I see Jesus. He grew up. We worship Jesus.
Yeah. So when he was a baby, when Jesus was a baby, at that time when Christianity, were they worshipping him at that time? When he was a baby, because you said he's God. So that means even if he was a baby, he was God. So were they worshipping him?
You know what? I'm not trying to get around this, all right? But I haven't got a foggiest idea what
You know why? Christianity is not a logical religion. With all due respect, listen, that's why most Christians are not able to explain the Trinity. It doesn't make any logical sense at all. That's why, let me tell you about Islam. What do you know about Islam? What do you know about Islam? What do you know about Islam?
I know, what do I know? I'm not as eloquent as you.
I'm not eloquent.
No,
I'm just a normal person. I'm nobody.
No, you're nobody. But you string your words a lot better together than I can.
It's not about that, to be fair.
No, it is. It's about collecting information.
I agree with you.
And putting it together.
So let's reason.
And to come out with it. I'm not that type of person.
No, but
I know.
You don't need to be.
I know.
You could be a kid as well.
I know. You've got the Bible.
Yes.
And you've got the Quran.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I know they don't match up for a start. The other thing I know is, I mean, like, who it was talking about.
It's fine, get to your point, brother.
Talking about. No, I don't want to get too crude.
Bro, can I just say something if you don't mind? Yeah, listen, I'm what I'm trying to say to you. I'm not trying to confuse you. I'm not trying to use eloquency. The things I'm saying. Because Allah tells us in the Quran as well, yeah, when it comes to the revelation that Jesus and Mary used to eat. The reason why God did this is in order for us to reflect. That Allah tells us to reflect upon His signs. And indeed, these are for the signs of the signs. For example, it wouldn't make any sense for a person that is God to eat food. The reason why it wouldn't make sense because God, I said this to you many times. I'm not sure if I'm getting anywhere. I'm repeating myself a lot, to be honest. So I'm going to end off the conversation. I'm going to tell you what Islam says about our religion. Yeah, let me tell you what Islam says. So Islam, we believe in all the prophets. Yeah, we believe in Moses, we believe in Noah, we believe in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and all these individuals, they came with a message to convey Allah's revelation. So I'll give you some explanation. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he came with a message to worship God. He came with the exact same message of Jesus, despite them being 600 years apart. And he came with the worship of one God, just like Jesus has said in the Bible. Bro, I'm giving you the Islamic.
Can you just explain some things to me? Like, how old was his wife when he got married?
Bro, listen, no, I can answer the question, no problem. You're going to speak about Aisha then, yeah?
Just tell me.
So the Prophet ﷺ married Aisha at the age of 6, and he consummated the marriage at 9, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm not going to go too far that way.
Okay, it's really simple to be fair.
What about the war he went into, and he got married to one of the wives.
Wives, Sophia.
Sophia.
Yes.
Same day that he won the battle.
Yes.
So, would you call that rape or not?
One second. Okay, well, you mentioned 2 points firstly, yeah? Firstly, one second, brothers. 1 second. Firstly, brother, it shows that you're not able to answer from your natural inclination that Jesus, it doesn't make logical sense for him to be God. That's fine. You can't answer. That's fine. So I can explain to you about Aisha radiallahu anhu. So we can see even Christian scholars in the 17th century. Do you know what the age limit of marriage was in the UK in the 17th, 18th century?
What's that got to do with it?
Just answer the question if you don't mind.
Biblically-wise, it doesn't have any...
Basically, the age just 200 years ago, the age was 7 for the consummation of marriage, yeah? Okay, the marriage in the UK alone. So Islam, just to give, let me give you that. That's fine. No problem. 1 second.
You know the gypsies right now.
Yeah.
What age did they get married?
Yeah, I understand. 1 second. We're not. One second. Okay, I'll explain to you. Look, the principle is that Aisha radiallahu anhu was an adult. She was not a child when they consummated marriage, and the proof of that is, for example, some individuals, they claim the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, God forbid, astaghfirullah, they call him a paedophile. In order for someone to be molested by a paedophile, that individual must have mental defects. That person must have mental illness. Aisha radiallahu anha became the biggest scholar of Islam, biggest female scholar of Islam. Number 2, there was an experiment done for fishes, yeah? So there's an experiment done on fishes, and once they were in the hot climate and then in the cold climate. When fishes were exposed to hot conditions, they matured much more physically quicker as well. Okay, that's number 2. And another thing is, yeah.
But the diet then wasn't that good.
1 second,
so
and we can see. No. Listen, you're not getting the point.
They would take longer to
brother,
mature.
Listen, you're not getting the point. Sorry, brother. Yeah. And of course, we can see at that time the life expectancy of an individual was much less. What was the life expectancy? All these people were going to wars. People were dying quick. So of course, in order to multiply naturally, you would have to marry at the early age. But the point is, though, none of the enemies of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a paedophile. A'udhu billah. No one said that. They called him a liar. They called him a magician, and none of them called him a paedophile. But bro, the point is, 1 second, I'm gonna finish off. I'm gonna conclude the conversation. The point is, I'm gonna leave him something. Yeah, I'm gonna leave you with something, brother. Yeah.
What about the most...
Brother, I can answer all your questions. I can answer by Sophia. 1 second, brother. Don't answer. No. The reason being is that, bro, we're going to so many different topics here. We've already established you're not able, like you said it yourself, you're not able to logically explain the Trinity because you know it doesn't make sense according to natural inclination. So what you're doing is like just like normal Christians, they're saying that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam married Aisha at this age. Look, but the thing is, it's not worth it. But bro, may Allah give you hidayah. But I'm gonna finish up. You can speak afterwards. No, I'm gonna finish up. I'm gonna finish up. Promise. But brother, all I'm gonna say to you is, may Allah give you hidayah. And you know what we say is that, you know, if someone becomes a Muslim, all of the sins are forgiven, except, for example, debt. Okay? 1 second. And thing is, you know the concept of God is the most important element of every religion. And you know you can't explain or even comprehend the Trinity because against God's nature.
You know what? It doesn't...
Bro, let's conclude now. Let's conclude. It's not going anywhere.
What things don't depend on? How clever you talk or how you do. Because I mean, you could have a non-clever Muslim.
Look, my duty, I'm finishing. Wallah, bro, I'm finishing off. Look, my duty as a Muslim is to convey the message. Allah gives the hidayah. Allah gives the guidance. So take care of yourself. It was nice talking to you. And hopefully think about this, yeah? Assalamu alaikum, brother. I'm from Pakistan. Where are you from, brother? I'm from Pakistan originally. Oh, I'm from East London, Barking. Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from, originally from Pakistan as well.
Okay,
From
nice.
Oxford,
Cool.
yeah.
I'm just gonna take the mic off because they can hear everything.
And who was that? Who was the husband? I'll give you a chance. You told me how was that?
ولا يا خبادي كسحب فينا سحب فينا
Why did you never get this? I'm going to do second beginning. My brother. And her husband was Mantle and the couple. So,
Tell him he's lying in Arabic.
What is the mic, brother?
Here, put all the mics here, here, and here. Did I mix it up?
Normally put them like this. No?
Sorry, but I'm not
No problem, no problem.
What's your channel name, brother?
Dawah to soul.
Oh, mashallah. Good channel.
How do you know?
I know because I watch because of course. That was
My one is good.
Yeah, the blue one. Is that blue emoji?
Yeah. Everything is rubbish.
Brother, you're all Muslim, brother. We're working as a team, brother.
I'm for doing only
Listen to this. I put record Hashim. Yeah? You know what he said? He said if it was me, I'd put your camera first.
yes. I thought this camera was there.
Really? But then I remember, wallahi, brother, I was recording the burn system between this and I start Hashim. That means it was same minutes. Then he went to record Mantle. He put his camera first.
Oh my God, brother, why you do this?
I thought no, his camera is there. No.
Yeah.
That's why I got only for the sake of Allah.
Yeah.
he doesn't know what he's talking about. At the moment, right now, it's very, very young. Initially, what age did they get married? The girl. Straight to him. At the moment now, we're advanced, we have medication and all this advanced, so we don't have to get married so young, right? Exactly. But now, this woman, this girl, you get married at 12 years old. In America, there's a state you can get married at 14, even in Newton.